everybody, welcome back to an action-packed, exciting, fun-filled episode from Survival with Fix. I don't know if this is going to be episode number 41 technically, or if we're going to sort of back it up and call this, the sort of season 2 or not. I haven't decided. I've kind of been going back and forth. But I need to build something for the movie, which actually you've already seen this part of the movie. This is the very beginning of the movie, which came out a few episodes ago in the lore segment. But I need to build it here in real life, in my actual survival world. So I need gates to Perseverance right here. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to be building in some gates right here, kind of into the mountain, and then we'll make the mountain look a little bit better. So first thing I got to do is I got to get some of these trees out of the way and figure out exactly where this is going to go. These got to be pretty hefty gates because they are going to be tasked with keeping this terrible zombie outbreak at bay. Now, of course, they didn't know that whenever these gates were hypothetically built, but we're going to pretend like, oh, how lucky that there are really amazing gates here, because they're going to definitely need to use them. So let's make a couple chests and figure out exactly where we're going to put these gates. I've been working on these gates, trying to come up with just a very simple little gate design, and I realized I need some iron. But when I was coming over to the iron farm, I came across this gate, and I really like this gate, as simple as it is. But I think this is way too dramatic for what I'm thinking. Like, I'm not thinking a standalone kind of gate like this. I'm thinking kind of a mountainside gate with maybe, I was thinking at first iron bars for doors, because I think it'd be kind of cool to see the zombies in the animated scene, which again, I want to say you've already seen, but I have yet to actually do, because I'm building the set. And my idea for the animated movie is all the sets that I'm going to have for this movie are going to be actually existing in this world. Like, I don't want to just build anything in creative mode in like a test world or a flat world really fast just to get it done. I actually want to have it all here, which I just think is going to add to the world, and whatever excuses to build really cool stuff. But let me show you what I've come up with so far. I think it's an okay guts. Now, right now it is kind of a standalone little simple gate layout, but what I'm going to be doing is I'll extend this mountain to sort of cover it. So this will just go right in the base of the mountain, and then I'll just bring this cliff right up behind these trees. And then it'll kind of like end here. So you'll have these stairs that descend into the gate. I just thought it'd be easier to extend the mountain than it would be to dig out into it because of where the stairs are. The stairs sort of go gradually in. I want them to go a little bit more abrupt. So, okay, so I got this area here. So first thing I want to do is I want to add in a couple windows going up here, like maybe here and here, because the idea is that there are going to be guards at this gate that are going to be keeping it safe. And my other little slight concern is I'm not sure that you can tell that this is actually a wall without either a window or something there. And I really want to show that. That's not centered. We can fix that, I think. I did a live stream here where I worked on this. I can talk for like a minute before my throat starts to really get sore and I start hacking up and getting sick and all this stuff. So I'm going to record a real quick little clip here. I did actually a silent sort of a lo-fi talking thing where I worked on these little cliffs here. They're not totally done, but the idea is kind of laid out there. That's okay. These cliffs are now, because before they were just flat. I very clearly just sort of like carved this path straight into the side of the mountain. So now it looks like there's a little bit of a cliff. I'll texture them in a little bit, but the gate is good. Now, eventually what I'll do after I'm done animating this is I will put in an actual gate, but I don't want to do that right now because I'll be adding those blocks in post, which means I can make them move. If you have them in now, you can't make them move. So I'm going to leave this gap right here for the actual gate, and this is going to be where well, I guess you already saw it again way back in episode, what was it, like 37 or something like that, where Dr. Pickett escaped through the gate just before the gate slams closed. Oh, you know what? I just thought this can't be there. Okay. Yeah, you can't have these chests have also go. I got to move some stuff. Anyway, yeah. So you just saw Dr. Pickett escape just before all the zombies made their way out of the ancient city. So we're getting closer. Things are good. I think probably this is okay. The only thing I'm going to need to add is I'll add a lever in post, and we could probably add some chains, because I don't think I'll make the chains move. But let's do a lever and some chain. Well, again, lever later, but chains now. Well, that is basically done, and now I want to move on and go back to the Supporters Kingdom. I really like what's going on here so far. I like that house and that house over there and a few of the others back up behind me. Things are looking really nice, but I think we need to go on and do some other things here just to continue this kingdom flourishing as we need it to. Yeah, if you look at this path, this is all got to go. I want to get rid of basically all the nature, except for the nature that I sort of intend to be there, but I want to get rid of all the grasses just around. All these path blocks have got to turn into actual like stone to make this a lot more of an urban setting and a lot less of kind of like a sprawling village, right? But if you go down here, yeah, there's a lot to do. This market is actually quite nice. I'm going to leave the market exactly as is, except for, again, get rid of the grass and the path block and just make this look like a really set thing that's been here for maybe quite a long time. This little retaining wall done because I did a little bit of a live stream to test out my voice and see, and I held through okay. So basically, I'm dividing up this farm and the land on the other side of it. I think I want to say you get through right here. Yeah, you do. Yeah, I have to make some sort of door or something. Even maybe just a regular door. Honestly, the problem is I put this overset here, so I can't. Or offset. I put this offset right here, so I can't really. I'll figure it out. I'll figure out some way to get through anyway. But yeah, so the market is now separated, and I think it just makes way more sense. Like if you pop out here and take a look at this, yeah, it looks better. I'm glad that I went with a little bit of a I don't know, like an angle instead of straight on, and it looks good. Just a little bit of fortification. Maybe, who knows, maybe this was like an old tower that they've repurposed into just a little bit of a wall. This could have been an old fortress or something along those lines. But regardless, the next step is we got to figure out what to do up on the top of these, and I don't think I'm going to do big giant roofs because I don't want to block from coming in here on a ship. I don't want to block the view of the castle or the houses leading up to it. So I think what I'm going to do is just do a very simple little is it called crenulations? I think crenellations. I think where I put up along this wall and maybe just some fences. Something really easy. A huge project. I don't know if I'm going to end up regretting this or not, but you saw in the last time lapse, that was actually a live stream time lapse where I took out all of these little houses that were here before. They were just too little, and I'm going to put up a couple rows of townhouses. And I think with the way I'm going to do it, I'm going to go right on the edge of this wall, which this wall, just to give you some perspective here, this wall is right against the market. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one row of townhouses here, a middle street, and then one row over here, right up to the edge of this. So that way and then I'll probably end up sort of doing a house sort of around the edge as well. So let's start with that. So we'll do one at the end of the street, and then we're going to start looping houses back. These are going to be fairly simple little houses. So I just got a whole bunch of different woods here, and I'm going to be starting with just sort of laying out the framework for it. I think the best thing to do is I'm going to start with, I want to start in the middle here. So let's start about here and here. And then that's going to allow this house that I'm going to do over here to go into both. In fact, actually, let's go ahead and mark it out right now. Well, so we'll do, this house is going to have to be here and about here, because this is going to be a road. There's going to be a road that's going to lead out right against it. So we'll do, in fact, actually, this house is going to go the whole way over to here. Does that make sense? Does that make sense what I'm doing here? I think this is going to work. So we'll go like this. This will be one of them. They're all going to be basically just rectangles. I'm not going to do anything insane here. So something along these lines like that. Okay? Let me lay out a couple of these, and I think you'll get a better idea of what I'm doing after. This house is going to have to come in here from the side. That'll work. Quite some time and several live streams since I recorded last from this world. I've been actually working on the mountain over in Baston, and I just took a few days off over Thanksgiving, as it was my first holiday here at home without the boys, and Thanksgiving's always been kind of a big one for me and my family, where we all got together. So it was just kind of weird, and I just sort of needed to sort of step back a little bit and just let the feelings sort of get used to them and all that kind of stuff. But I'm getting back, starting to do some interesting things here with this little area. I really, building is something I always come back to and just feel really, really good about it. Building always makes me feel really, really happy and creative and all that kind of stuff. But I'm getting really close to wrapping this one up. I need to add in a little bit more trees, a little bit more areas for trees. Like I fenced off this little area right here, and that works. I did add in some chimneys just to give that little tiny bit of movement, which is really nice. And yeah, I mean, I think we're pretty darn good. Like if you look out here in the back of this, that's quite a difference from what it was before, where it was sort of the if you remember the old procedurally generated Minecraft houses. And plus, not to mention, we did the market this episode too. My goodness, this is a monstrous episode, right? It's pretty big. So I'm going to finish up a couple little things. Like I know this tower needs to be done, and this wall right here needs to be done. There are some other things like over here, which just sort of leaves off. Like if you look, this house doesn't even have windows. I'm going to let that go though, because I'm going to do sort of this area over here as its own episode, because I was looking at it and there's a lot here. There's a lot here that I want to sort of address. Like the fields are actually are fine. The fields don't need to go anywhere, but like these houses I think could maybe be a little bit further changed and things like that. Plus there's a random dark oak tree there I probably just used as a farm. So I'll leave this house and that house and this house for next time. So let me finish up this and then we'll wrap this puppy up. Today's question or comment of the day comes from Michelle, who says, if you stream, at least make videos that have the lore in it. I don't watch streams, they're just not my thing, but I love your videos. So thank you so much for the kind words and also all the comments. I read them all. So when I do streams, when I get to do streams, they'll never have lore. And we may talk about the lore, but the lore will always come. And here's sort of my big announcement, drum roll if you will. I am going to be changing plans just a little bit going forward after this video, maybe one more before we start. But the movie, because of the amazing amount of time the animations take, I've decided to instead do the movie in like an audiobook format where I can just write it as a book form and then I'll release each sort of check section or each chapter at the end of episodes, of survival episodes. So that way, if lore is not your thing, you can tap out, no big deal. But yeah, it's going to be coming very soon, probably one more episode. Thanks so much for watching. I really do appreciate you all. Love you all, and I'll see you all next episode.